Second live today, although the other one was
I
not.
think you're ready. You're live, Miss Eldona. And let's just do that here for you.
Yeah,
here. You can start talking to your
awesome.
people there.
Okay, hey, we're live everywhere. We're live everywhere.
There we go.
I think I hear there's a radio announcer live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're not. We're live everywhere on the Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Well, you got it all covered, Miss Eldona.
Yeah,
yes, you do.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode 3. Are we on episode 3?
Episode 3.
Wow, of BnB Live. And we're excited that you are here and that you're watching. We have some great show in store. Our product is going to be bracelets. We'll get to that in a minute.
And before we even go any further, I think we want to acknowledge all of the viewers, whether you're on now at this moment or you're going to be joining us. And one of the things you definitely can do at this moment is let us know where you're chiming in from. Give us your location, also let us know if you are currently someone who has already purchased from Baskets and Beads and maybe something that you have purchased. We'd love to hear from you. So you can add it in the comments, whether you're here on Instagram or you're anywhere else, because you mentioned all the platforms, right?
Right.
Go ahead and post it in the comments. And we definitely want to take a moment to acknowledge you, read what you're writing or what you're typing, and share it with the rest of the audience as well. So go ahead and do that right now. Let us know where you're coming in from. Go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking of where we are in a quote unquote sunny SoCal. And
right.
Okay. So if you're in SoCal, you're freezing like we are. But if you're somewhere else, you probably don't relate to the level of freezing we're talking about because it's been in the 40s here.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's for us California peeps. And I'm from Texas, and I'm used to a lot colder than this. I used to ride horses in 30-degree weather in Texas, and be all bundled up was no big deal. But I came from going all over the world and in the military, and ended up in California. And I've been here since 2003, so I am very California-ized. And I always say when it gets in the 50s or down to in the 50s, that's parka weather. So it's been in the 40s when I take in to go out for a walk in the morning, and that's like knit hat, and I haven't been wearing gloves, but thick socks and warm jacket. And I think probably some people in other parts of the country are like 40s. Are you kidding? That's light jacket or sweater weather. So the perspective depends on where you're from.
Right.
So this is cold for us. And I saw that it was going to get down to 39 on Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. Brr. So we're not used to that. We're used to it was warm today, and then it got windy and got cold.
Yeah. There's gray skies for sure out there. And it's starting to sprinkle too, by the way.
Yeah. So. Again. So yeah, so that's cold for us, but we're inside in the temporary studio. Oh, temporary studio. Speaking of getting beyond the temporary studio, I have in my hand here the lease.
That's a lot of pages.
That's a lot of pages. You see that, right? For the new space. Actually, I will.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. I will show a photo of the new space and see if I can make it easy to look at here.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the block, I guess, where it is, and we are going to be right here in this space, and I'm excited about it. Of course, being a contracts person, and I will give you a Think Like a Negotiator strategy, that this is very thick, and I got it yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and read it, but read it I will. I will read every page of it. And this is something that I always like to share when I actually had I didn't teach this in the session I had, but I had a 20-minute talk on Women's Entrepreneur Network group today about negotiation and shared 5 strategies. But one of the strategies in my Think Like a Negotiator book is read it, the importance of reading it. And a lot of people would just, okay, whatever, and sign. And then you don't know what you signed up for. There's a lot of pages here, and a lot of it is kind of legal mumbo jumbo, which I understand, but it's basically I need to read everything in and see exactly what I'm signing up for. I know some of it because this first part was sent to me with the offer, but the rest of it is things that I need to read and make sure that there's nothing here that is concerning or anything I need to question or anything I don't understand. Just like on the offer, there was one thing that I said, okay, does this mean this? And they said, yes. The importance of reading whatever you get it can't be understated. A lot of people, oh, I don't understand this, I'll just sign. But you want to make sure you read it so you know what you're signing up for. The example I like to use about that, many years ago, I was with a friend at an Emmy viewing party. It was for the Emmys viewing party. And we're walking around and there's somebody, we were talking to a woman and she was being filmed. And then this after she moved on to talk to other people, this group came up and gave us this long legal size, probably the same size font as this. This is very small font. You can see that, and said, oh, we need you to sign this. She's being considered for a reality TV show. Okay, great. It's dark. I said, okay, give me a fax number. I will sign it and send it back to you. Okay. No, it's just legal stuff. No big deal. The lawyers, just sign it. And I'm like, no, I'm not signing anything until I've read it. No. They kept attempting to convince me. And I said, no, not going to use my image without me reading what I'm signing.
Right.
Went home. And the next morning I got up and it was light and I could read it. And there was one clause that said something to the effect of, we can use your image and likeness in any way we deem fit, including a negative, derogatory manner. Not that they would have. I was in a shot with the lady, but I didn't want to take a chance at that, so they didn't get it back from me. But I can't stress enough the importance of reading contractual documents. Can't help it. I'm a contracts person. That's what I do. If you don't understand a lot of the legalese that come in contracts, like if there's something in here I don't understand, I have attorney friends that I'll reach out to and say, hey,
help me out with
this. Yeah. Or get an attorney to review it, depending on, because I'm getting ready to take on, it's a year lease. And we're getting ready to move in here, and it's a financial commitment. And I want to make sure that I'm not signing up for something and that the things that they agree to are included in there. It's just very important. Read it. Anyway, that's exciting. Hopefully they'll let us in early, but the tentative move-in date is March 1st, but they said they have to do some maintenance to the property. It's an 800 square foot, 400 square feet of office space, 400 square feet warehouse, where we can set up a whole shipping operation because we are working on getting some wholesale customers.
Yeah, expansion for sure. So you want to make room for all of that. So yeah.
And actually one of them is a big customer, and I was on a webinar with them because I'm in a veterans program and for entrepreneurs that I got accepted to, and I was on a webinar with that supplier who's looking for the type of products that Baskets and Beads has. But one of the other people who was on that webinar said, oh, had to be ready and set up and ready to go, which we are as far as the entity and business operations. So we don't have a dedicated shipping area. Right now, everything's in the warehouse, which is a 200 square foot storage, and things are a little bit of a mess after the holiday rush of going to so many pop-ups. And just being so tired that we didn't put everything back where it was supposed to go. So it's kind of stacked in there, a little messy. But if I want to ship something, and I can do it, so I get a lot of individual orders. I go and pull the product, bring it back here, ship it, print the label out on the computer here, and box it up and then take it. I have a scale and everything. But that's not the way to do larger scale business, and that's our goal for this year, is larger scale wholesale customers. We need to be able to drop ship things. And here's Indigo. Indigo's coming up to say hi. She doesn't have a chew bone today. We don't have the ability to have a proper shipping operation, so we have an actual table for that. And I'll just need to get with, I have a FedEx and a UPS account, also have a DHL account. Just need to get a label printer and all that stuff set up. And once we get that all, or close to getting that, I have everything ready to submit. I have somebody who's going to help push it from a higher level to have them take a look at us. So it's coming together, but you need to be prepared for something like that and have a plan for something like that. Because if I could do it, but it would be probably a big mess to attempt to get on and do a full on drop ship operation to several different locations. We have the product's arranged in a certain way, but yeah, it's just not optimal. And that's what moving into the space is, right?
Yes, definitely. And we want to give a shout out to those of you who are just joining us now on the Instagram feed. I'm noticing that we have the Sound Bath Studio that's just joined with us. And also Irma Contrades is also on here, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I said your name correctly. But we want to welcome you and acknowledge you right now on the live feed here on our Instagram. And Aldana was just giving a little bit of information regarding this new transition that Baskets and Beads is getting to go into, and that is moving into a much larger space with more amenities that is going to allow Baskets and Beads to be able to really operate more on a higher level. And you mentioned about engaging with some bigger clients that Baskets and Beads is going to be taking on as well. And then just some of the other features and amenities that are going to come along with having this new space, in addition to right now, Baskets and Beads is available also at Fair Trade Long Beach, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's various pop-ups that Aldana does throughout the year. And if you want to find out more information about that, we want to encourage you to head over to the website, which is basketsandbeadskenya.com. There you go. That is where you can find pretty much all the information, right, Aldana? They can contact you through there. They can get updates. They could see some, like, as you're doing, I don't know, is it like blogging, or what would you call it? Like,
yeah, I actually have a blog, and I do a newsletter as well. If you're interested in being on the newsletter, I do put it out on social media when we're doing events. I'm not doing an event until the end of the month, which will be at Vanguard University, and then I'm doing one in Torrance next month, and then the Fair Trade Federation conference. And that I usually put out when it gets closer, but it's also in the newsletter. There's a calendar of where we're going to be. I'm working on for us to do a lot less pop-up events, only doing select few.
Right. And then also being more involved and having more activity at this new location for the Baskets and Beads. This location is going to, again, there's going to be other features and amenities that are going to be available in this space. And I know as we get closer to it, and I'm sure you'll even update in the newsletter. So you definitely want to head over to the Baskets and Beads website and, start receiving that newsletter. Sign up to get that newsletter so that you can get the information on all the detailed information. Like right now, we're kind of running a million miles a minute when we do these lives because there's so much that we have to pack into this. But that is where you can definitely get more of the detailed information, as well as any important dates involving Baskets and Beads. And so you're definitely going to want to head over there. Now, with regards to what you're going to be talking about, as far as what we're selling today for Baskets and Beads, one of the things we want to share with our audience is if they're interested in purchasing today's item, which is also being sold at a special price, what do they need to do in order to get that price today, Aldana?
So if you are watching and you see it, and even after the fact, I'll be watching after the fact. We're working on how this is going to work. Some of our systems are not quite working. So if you just type sold bracelet, the price on the website is $22, but it's going to be $20 today. So if you type sold bracelet, and I'm only showing the stretch bracelets today, but we also have wrap bracelets, so that price goes for those as well. We'll talk about those in a minute, but Irma says she's going to see me in Torrance. Torrance is the South Bay Quilters Guild show. It's a 2-day show in February. What day are we? February.
Well, we're in January now, but
yeah, it's in. I don't even know. It's in February. It's the I guess the third weekend. It's thankfully last year it was on Super Bowl Sunday.
That must have been difficult for you.
The pain, agony on breaking down and watching the Super Bowl on my iPad. That was painful. Thankfully it's the weekend after that this year, and because go Cowboys, hopefully they'll make it there. I'm a big football fan. I grew up with my dad watching football, and it's something my son and I enjoy. So I'm glad that it's not that weekend. I'm just saying. Anyway, so let's talk about today's product.
And before you jump into that real quickly, I just again want to acknowledge some of the statements that are being made. Okay, so we have the sound bath is saying congratulations, by the way.
Oh,
And
hey,
then
thank you.
Irma is mentioning that she's excited for you. She says that she loves what you do and why you do it, and that she must come and visit. Of course, she's also saying that she'll see you there in Torrance. So again, acknowledging the comments here. If you're barely joining us, we want to encourage you. Let us know where you're chiming in from, what city, what part of town. Maybe you're even chiming in from out of the state, in a different state. Let us know. The other thing you can add to the comments on any of these platforms is let us know, what have you purchased so far from Baskets and Beads? We would love to hear from you, the products that you have purchased, whether it's bracelets or necklaces, some of the apparel. There's household items as well. Let us know. We would love to hear and interact with you while we're on this live, even though I know Aldana's going to start talking about the product, but feel free to share, and we would love to interact with you during this segment.
I'll be excited to have events in the space. One of the events, so today's item, I have a few of them here, are paper bead bracelets. Last week we talked about the paper bead necklaces. I put this one on today because I think there was some writing on one of the
beads, maybe.
Yeah, one of the. Look.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see
one.
that. Well, on this one, there's a lot of writing there.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, so I put that on. But so some of them are the color paper, and some of them are painted. Like this red one here that I wear is painted. They rolled the paper and then they painted it red, and they used some beads in some seed beads in between. They do that on all of them. And then one of the classes we're going to have is how to roll paper beads and make a little single strand bracelet. This is a stretch bracelet, and it simply slides on like that. And this is a black one. We have a lot of these. I call it a heathered black.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a faded black. It's not solid black, but the paper is it's just a faded look.
Well, even in the lighting, like for instance, from the angle that I'm at, it kind of has even a little bit of a gray hue to it as well. I mean, but you could tell once you look closer, it's like, oh yeah, look at, there's the black in there. But it can also have that look like, wow, it looks like a pewterish kind of color, like a gray kind of hue to it as well. So
yeah, it's fun. I have a necklace like this too. They do come in sets if you're interested in the necklace, but there are solid color, like here's a white one, there's solid color black, I think, and then this is red. There's all sorts of solid color, and then there's multicolor. Multicolor is good because it goes with anything. And I'm looking at this is all pretty much paper that's different colors that has been rolled. There's a couple, actually that one, I don't know if you can see that right there. That one has some writing on it, so it's direct from a magazine. And what they do with this is they roll them and then glue the end and then put varnish on it, so it's water resistant.
Right.
Like I said with the paper beads last week, you can't obviously jump in the pool or jump in the shower with this, but it's also very, very durable.
There's durability still to it as well. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. We do have Indigo here in the temporary studio with us, so you might see us kind of having to, put our hand down a little bit here because she's seeking for a little bit of attention. Before Aldana continues on with the information about the bracelets, I also want to acknowledge again, the sound bath is stating here is located in Palos Verdes, and that they too serve primarily South Bay. And then they're saying you guys are amazing. I found a few pieces. I have also gifted some pieces from your beautiful work. We appreciate that so much. Thank you for supporting Baskets and Beads, and also for the work that you do as well. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Palos Verdes is a beautiful area.
It is. Before COVID, and she used to come and do her sound bath in Fairtrade Long Beach. But it hasn't. And then she does them all around in all kinds of different places. Follow her, check her out. We have crazy paws here. My mistake is I ran out of chews for her.
They usually keep her occupied now.
And I've been working all day, and usually, okay, you have to pay attention to me. You have to take me somewhere to run.
Kind of like a
And,
baby.
yeah.
Or kid.
Yeah, it is. It's like a kid with 4 paws. So
one of the other things I wanted to mention, especially right now, because Sound Bath Studio just mentioned it too, about how gifting these items to other people, on top of that concept or that idea of buying something like this for somebody, the beauty about the product is because it's an artisan product, no item is identical or alike. Every piece is unique in its own way. Even if you were to, yes, even if you were to go and, look through all of the bracelets that are multicolor, even still, none of them are exactly alike. And we have more than just one lady, let's say, that makes like the bracelets. So, I mean, they're coming from various women within the group.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's
most all the women do paper beads.
Okay.
There's a couple that just do sewing, but almost all the women are able to make paper beads. And they'll when I'm there, they'll sit around in a circle. Like I have so many magazines that people have donated, and I wish I could get them. They're so heavy. I wish I could get them over there easily. What I usually do is line the bottom of my suitcases with them and take a lot of magazines. And when the ladies come, they'll get a little toothpick and glue and bring their little cutter, and they'll cut them in strips and sit there and roll them. And within minutes, there'll be a pile of beads. They're so quick.
They're fast.
They roll it on a toothpick. Now I have tools when I teach this class, when we do the class at our new location. When I teach the class, I have tools for people to use because toothpicks are really hard. Sometimes they do it without toothpicks, but they've been doing it for so long that it's second nature to them. And they laugh at me because I can't get this. It's hard. It's hard, but you can work with it and get it to, you can't just do it right away. You have to take a little practice, but what the kit contains is there'll be some strips, and you can cut if you want, and they'll have the tools for you to use, but there'll also be the beads to string your own bracelet if you end up not being able to roll beads. I taught this at an event. I was at a pop-up Culver City Bead and Design Show, and a grandmother, mother, and daughter came and all did it.
Participated,
and they just they got it. They kept rolling beads, and they didn't string those. They just wanted to take them, but they learned how to roll the beads. But it'll be fun.
So the Sound Bath Studio is also mentioning right now that people appreciate the story behind the story. Like they appreciate the stories that are behind the product. And last week when we talked about the necklaces, I had mentioned with you, Aldana, that these are, I like to say, this is the soul work of these women.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely their entire livelihood. And so, yeah, you're supporting the opportunity for them to embark on something fresh and new, but there's just, such a beautiful story attached to the products. And so you're right, Sound Bath Studio, and when you say, the appreciation of the story behind it all. And I was going to ask you.
I should show our little thing that's going to go, what we're working on, that's going to go with the product.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because it is a gift.
Right.
It is a gift with a story. It's a gift with purpose. It's a gift that, when you give a gift, you want it to have some meaning behind it.
Right.
And we are working on redesigning our,
Erica, sorry about that. Sound Bath Studio. Erica, there we go.
We are working on, I should have said that. Hey, Erica, sorry. We are working on a new design. We kind of have it down. So when somebody purchases something, we're working on new hang tags as well. But this will go out with everybody that purchases something, and it has information about the story and links to the story, and it shows different women. One of the things that we have, our slogan is "From Poverty to Prosperity until every woman in poverty is empowered to sustainability through entrepreneurship or employment." At Baskets and Beads Kenya, we believe women in poverty have the ability to create a sustainable life. That's our primary thing, is creating sustainability and micro enterprises so these ladies can get out of poverty. Our ultimate
Right.
goal is to get them out of that slum and build some housing.
Yes.
That's a bigger dream, but I'm sure it'll come at some point. But everything it talks in different parts about the story. It has actual pictures of the ladies with their names. Yes, and the designer is sitting next to me.
That's not why, but I'm just saying.
It is
beautiful. It's
so
colorful.
So,
too.
like for instance, this is Layla, our director. Layla, if you're watching, this is you're on the front page, and these are some of the kids. So part of it is empowering women and educating children. And part of what our nonprofit is doing is helping pay school fees for a lot of these kids. So if you're interested in donating for that, you can go to basketsandbeadskenya.org for that one. And but each one has the name or most of them has the name of some of the ladies, so you can see it's actually the women that are it's not a stock photo. It's not a stock photo. These are real photos. Are not stock photos. These are all real photos of this was our photo shoot here when we had the ladies. If you look on Baskets and Beads Kenya, there are and Indigo's excited about that. I had Indigo save it. Whatever I'm trying to say, leave it. I am excited. If you go to Baskets and Beads Kenya, you'll see a lot of the ladies that are modeling the product. They're actually the women who made the product. We had a photo shoot for them, and we've shared that a lot. And then we had a photo shoot here with friends and family. Vanessa was one, and my daughter was one, and a lady from the wife of a veteran in my veterans group at church, and another friend of mine, Cecilia. So there were, and then Jamie, which is like a second daughter, and we had a whole group of us that got to play and enjoyed in modeling the product. So it's people who were friends or connected or worn the product here, and then the ladies in Kenya who modeled wearing the product. So that's a little different than it's none of it's really stock photos. It's actual real people that are connected to Baskets and Beads or make the product who are modeling the product on the website.
So with the bracelets, the paper beaded bracelets, what is our price today for our buyers if they purchase?
$20. So it's normally $22. Actually, it's going to go up a little bit because of the cost of getting the things here, but I'm wearing several of them. Right. So if you just put sold bracelet, and if you want a multicolor one or a solid color, right now I'm showing red and white. I think that we have green and orange and yellow and some purple left, and I can't think, but a multicolor, and then the faded black, and then we have some black and white left, but you can also get them in a set. And there's actually a picture. You can get them wrapped too. There's multicolor wrapped, and they're solid color wrapped. We don't have the wrapped in the faded black, but we do have solid colors like red and white and orange and yellow and green. And if you want to see a photo, you don't see it on the website and you want to see a photo, I can send you a photo of the colors so you can pick one.
I think that also someone is asking, do you know the dates for the show in Torrance? They're asking about those. Are you familiar with the dates?
Yes. Where's the calendar?
Well, you have a calendar right there. I don't know if
I can't see it.
Is it February or
it's February. Just pull it down.
Here we go.
Okay, so the dates for the show in Torrance are the 18th and 19th of February. It's at the Cultural Arts Center in Torrance, there right by the courthouse and all that. And I think it's something like 10 until, I'll be posting it. It's 10 until 5 or something like that. But yes, I'll be setting up on the 20th and not the 20th, the 17th, and it's the 18th and 19th of February there in Torrance at the Cultural Arts Center. And there will be some other of my fair trade buddies there as well. I think probably there's a lady that comes and has baskets from Ghana, which are really nice. She was next to me last year, and I ended up going home with 2 because we don't do those kind of baskets, and we do different baskets. But those baskets, I got a really big one. It's good for carrying things around. So, and then I have another one that I take to the beach when I take Crazy Paws to go run. I take towels and all her stuff. So I think she was a regular there. And then there's Phil, who has products from Bali, and I know that Tribu is going to be there, and products from Ecuador. And then there's quilting things as well. I will have some fabrics with me if anybody wants to get some pieces for quilting.
Fabric, yeah.
I have a few pieces there, but I'll have all the products set up, and you can come and shop and hang out and say hey, and we'll kick it and take some photos and do some lives or whatever we'll be doing. I think it's going to be a very busy show. Last year they had some COVID restrictions, but that's lifted for this year. And I think it was pretty steady flow last year, but I think this year it's going to be even better. So I'll look forward to seeing anybody who stops by. It'll be exciting.
So a lot of times while Aldana is sharing on these lives, although I'm sitting here next to her, there's a lot that's still going on behind the scenes that I'm also helping her with. And that is like in the area of communications with those of you who are watching with us virtually. So if you see me kind of pulling away from time to time, it's because we want to make sure that you know that we appreciate you guys being here on this live feed, and we want to be able to interact with you as well. So even if you have questions, or again, if you're purchasing the goods, we want to know what you have purchased already. Again, if you're interested in today's item that's being sold, which is the paper beaded bracelet, right? Those are going for $20 right now. And all you need to do is write in the comment section, type sold bracelet. Just put sold bracelet. And that will let Aldana know that, she needs to reach out to you after the segment. And then we can get that transaction going for you and get the paper bracelet to you, so you can start sporting it around and sharing it. And that's the other thing too. Wearing the goods is also another great opportunity to because people are going to ask you. I know every time I wear anything from Baskets and Beads, I always get asked questions, or like, oh, wow, that's so beautiful. The colors, or where did you get that at? And then it gives me the opportunity to talk with whomever it is and to share with them the mission and what is happening with Baskets and Beads, what they are about, and the contribution. Like when you buy, I even say it's an investment. When you invest in that, it's not that you're just buying something to wear and sport around, but again, you're really making an impact, and you're making the difference in the lives of these families, of these women. And I know there's many times where I get to sit with you, Aldana, and you share the vision and the direction. Like everything that's happening now with Baskets and Beads is still just the beginning, you guys. There is so much more that I know that you want to help these women, like as far as accomplishing and giving them more stability. And how is that going to happen? Through all of us pulling together and supporting and buying the goods. These women are creating and making, and it's worth every penny and more. It's worth every penny and more. Yeah. It's a beautiful product. And so how you can help, buy the goods, but then when you're wearing it, share the stories, share the mission, share what is happening, what Baskets and Beads is all about.
So I have a story about that. I was out at Michael's downtown in Long Beach. Michael's downtown is, okay. Bye, Erica.
Bye, Erica. Thank you so much for joining with us. We appreciate you.
I was at Michael's downtown, which is an awesome Italian restaurant on 3rd Street in downtown Long Beach. And if you want to, the chef is from Italy. The food is spectacular. I was there eating, and I had this bracelet on, the white one. And I was talking, and there was a couple next to us, and we got up and got ready to leave. And she said, "Where did you get that bracelet?" Mm-hmm. And the guy that was with her said, she's been eyeing that bracelet the whole time. and she didn't want to bother you guys while you were eating. And I said, well, then I told her the story, and I said, well, it's made out of paper, paper beads, and it was made by ladies in Kenya that I work with. And she was just amazed by the story, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have to have one.
Yeah.
So it's you're supporting the ladies by wearing it and giving it to somebody who also would appreciate it as well. It's support for these women. So we're here. It's cold out for California standards. I have some heat going. I don't have it too hot, but I have heat that can warm it up so it won't get freezing in here. And when I'm done here, I'm going to have dinner. We'll be eating something, and it's simple. We take that for granted. These ladies live in little mud huts,
right,
and they don't have anything other than, if they want to have their hut warm, they have to have a fire inside. So it used to be those huts. They're now made of mud and cow dung, which keeps it together. But they used to be made of wood and covered plastic bags. They still have a couple in there to show what it looked like. And a lot of people died from inhaling the fumes. So it's still not very good for their system to be inhaling that. But
right,
that's the only way they can get warm. And they have blankets, and it's hard floor,
right?
But it's either a dirt floor, or it's been maybe put with a little kind of gravelly concrete, but mostly they're dirt floors. And they struggle to feed themselves and their families. The price of food has gone up significantly in Kenya. We have a lot of kids that were working to help with school fees, and I saw the email and I thought, whoa, okay, these fees have gone up too. It's school fees and uniforms and supplies, and we're working to help a couple of kids with their full care and staying in high school, and then several other kids were helping with school fees and some of their supplies, and the cost of everything has gone up so much. So our goal with selling all the product is to be able to reinvest and buy more so they can have a steady, sustainable income.
Right. To go along with one of the stories that you mentioned just moments ago about how you were wearing the white bracelet at dinner and someone was just eyeballing the bracelet. I told you about that incident. I mean, because again, I'm, like Aldana, I'm wearing the goods as well. And I've purchased goods from Baskets and Beads as well. And I had earrings on. And I was in the market shopping, and I even had my Baskets and Beads t-shirt on, which that was the first item that we had on our episode 1, right? Selling the Baskets and Beads t-shirt. I had my t-shirt on, and I had earrings, the cloth earrings, right? It was the cloth ones. And a lady came right by me. She was, oh my gosh, I love your earrings.
I remember that.
And long story short, she bought them off me that day, right then and there. She didn't care. She wanted the earrings. I'm like, I could. She's like, no, I love your. I'm like she was insistent on the earrings, and so I took the earrings off, and she ended up buying them right there on the spot. But see, that's not the first time that has happened to me, where I'm wearing something from Baskets and Beads, and they're like, where did you get it? Tell me more about it. And I've exchanged information with some of these women as well. And the beauty about what you're doing with Baskets and Beads is that it also it's surrounded by this concept and this idea of community. So I believe that once you connect with what's happening with Baskets and Beads and getting to know Aldana as well, what it really also establishes is creating this sense of community among women and among sisterhood. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful concept. It's something that's really great to be a part of, whether it's in great ways or small ways, for you to be able to be a part of that. And so, I see it as a sisterhood. I have not met the women from Africa. I feel like I know them through hearing the stories from Aldana, and then just being around the product so much and looking at the photos and, just how I'm involved in my own way, that you feel that connection to these precious women. So yes. So type sold bracelet to purchase yours today. They are $20.
And so I guess we'll wrap up for tonight. Here comes Indigo back for some more attention.
Because Indigo is very much in need of attention now at this point. She's been a good girl. She's done her best. So
She's my little puppers. If you're on my Facebook profile, you can see a picture of her and I wearing bandanas. And if you are on the profile, please like the Baskets and Beads page. We're working hard to get the following on the page up. It helps with people seeing the page and getting more people to participate. So if you're not already liking the page, if you would go over, and you can find it in my actual in the list right there of things.
And you're talking about Facebook specifically,
Facebook,
right?
So the Facebook page.
Yeah, head over to the Baskets and Beads of Kenya Facebook page, click the like button. So that way also, because that's primarily the portal, correct, that we're going to be using.
We're working towards that.
Right.
We're testing all that stuff out. But the more activity on the page, the more Facebook shows it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I got actually a notification from Facebook saying your engagement has increased, so we're going to show it to more people. So then that's what we need, more people to have eyes on the page and on the product, and more eyes mean more purchases. So,
and in addition to that too, when you talk about more eyes, another way that you guys can help enhance that and help us really like gain even more momentum is for you as well. Even though you're hitting like, share it on your page as well. Like, let others know about Baskets and Beads of Kenya. Share it on your page,
both Facebook and Instagram.
Right,
share it out. We need more followers on Instagram as well.
Right. So you can send it in a private message to just a selective group of people if you'd like. Like, click on a few people that hey, this is something I know, like they like to wear jewelry, or I know they like to help good causes. There's a variety of reasons why you may want to send it to some of the people in your own Facebook community or your own Instagram community, whatever platforms you got going on. We want you to share it. Share it with a few other people. When you get off on this live feed right now, or when you get done watching the segment, I want to lovingly challenge you to go and share Baskets and Beads of Kenya. Pick 5 people, at least 5, the minimum. And that's easy to do, you guys. You just click, 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 right? Or you could be more intentional by saying, hey, I know 5 specific people that I definitely want to share this with. I know they would appreciate this. Share it with 5 other people. Like if we all pull together and help, as a matter of fact, when I get off on our live, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to share what Eldonna's doing with Baskets and Beads. I'm going to share it with 5 more people. Let's get the word out there. We can do this together, you guys.
Yeah, and one shout out to Fair Trade Long Beach. If you're local to Long Beach, stop by there. You can see the Baskets and Beads space there, and many other fair trade partners. I have a space there. We have 2 spaces there, and I would love for you to stop by there and check that out as well. There's a lot of great fair trade products. Fair Trade Long Beach has their own coffee. I'm not a coffee, I'm a tea girl, but I hear the coffee's good.
Awesome. Good
all right, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Catch me on Facebook, YouTube, and
Insta.
Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn for Swahili Sunday.
There we go. Okay.
And if you're not on the newsletter, you can either private message me or email address, or there's a place on Baskets and Beads that you can also sign up for that. So, or email me at eldonna@basketsandbeadskenya.com. And if you'd love to have me come and tell the story to your group, either virtually or in person, send me a message about that as well. I am speaking. A lot of people are booking me to speak on negotiation, where I also tell the story, but also people are bringing me in to talk about Baskets and Beads. So I would be happy to speak to your group and share the story. All right. We will see you later. Nakupenda.
Nakupenda.